Hello, and welcome back to day 9 of 31 days in a handmade journal. Today, we're doing something a little different. I am just making collage paper that will get torn up later throughout the next 21-ish days. We're going to be using our standard Academy acrylic colors of Cerulean Blue, Lemon Yellow, Burnt Sienna, Alizarin Crimson, and Titanium White. And there's also a couple colors that I used this past weekend while at the Soulfully Raw and Quirky retreat that I really enjoyed mixing and using and playing with. And these are just some craft acrylics that I already had in my stash. A bright orange, a gold, a silver, a metallic blue, and a really pretty bright green. I like this green. I'm gonna have to get this green in artist grade paints. Some other things I have are stamps and stencils and a brayer and my dirty paint palette. Oh, I forgot. We also have a little bit of black paint as well. Let's see, what else do we have? I also still have my Tombow dual brush markers out. These are water soluble, so when you apply water to them, they bleed. I enjoyed playing with those this weekend. I enjoy playing with them in general. So we'll see if we have time to use those tonight. And just a couple used sponges. So let's get started. I just have a few sheets of paper, not a lot. A couple sheets of your basic generic 90-pound cardstock, nothing at all fancy, and a few sheets of 20-pound white printer paper. Let's start by, and also this is just a piece of fabric that I am going to purposely get paint on because over the next 21 some odd days, we will also be tearing up this fabric and using that for collage as well. So I'm just gonna spread this paper out a little bit. And I have a place on the floor for all of this to dry, which is the other reason to keep it small. So where do we want to start? Oh, we also have a large black marker and one of these sheets of cardstock. I'm just going to do some mark making. Yep, that's the plan. Just getting this black marker on things. No rhyme or reason. Have some black on it. Oh, okay. That should do for now. Actually, let's go in and make some of these thicker. And now we're just going to come in with some paint. Let's start with yellow. It's, with the exception of white, it is the lightest color and the easiest to work. Oopsie. Oopsie. And this is how I get paint all over my hands, like this. So, yeah. And it's perfectly okay if some of the paper tears during this process, because at the end of the day, it's all going to get torn up anyway. So it's okay if some of it tears early. Okay. Do we want to add a little more yellow? I think so, because I really enjoy layering with yellow. And has a little bit of yellow on it now. Some more than others, that's perfectly okay. And what do we want to layer with next? Orange. This Craft Smart paint is really thin. Let me go dry these, and then I'm going to add the last layer, which will be a little stenciling and or stamping. Okay, there is one step that I forgot to mention, and that is a gesso. Gesso will act as it's white, but it's kind of a translucent white. And it just kind of helps to add variety to these pages. And it will add some texture for the stamps and stencils to grab onto. This one be more white. No, I don't think so. This one might need a tad bit. No, I don't think so either. All good. Next up is a little stamping and stenciling. And for this, I am going to actually use a palette to get the acrylic paint. Then, well, I could just use a stamp pad like a normal human being. I could do that. I could use a stamp pad. Have black, brown, no, yeah, maybe this one. Oops. This is coffee. This is plum. Maybe we'll leave the plum and take sepia and black. Yeah, that's a stamp. So we won't need the palette after all. maybe. We'll see. Oh, I have this floral stamp and a dots. It's just a bunch of dots. And this one's a bunch of lines. And this one is circles. I think that's all I brought. Yeah, it's pretty. Let's start with coffee and the circles. Okay, so I occasionally clean my stamps when they stop working well. I'll take the time to rub off the acrylic paint off of them, but it takes a while for that to happen. And you'll notice that I'm not laying down the whole stamp. I'm just laying down sections of it. Because sections of a stamp is just more interesting. I also want you to make note that you don't need a big stamp pad to use a big stamp. You can stamp the ink onto the stamp instead of what one normally does is stamp the stamp onto the ink pad, but with a small ink pad, it's easier to do it, to stamp the ink onto the stamp instead of the other way around. For this to work well, you do need stamp pads that are kind of at least kind of raised. If the stamp pads were flush, you can see that little lip where the stamp pad sticks out. That works, but if we didn't have that, it would be hard to use this stamp in the way, this stamp pad in the way that I'm using it. And these dry quickly, so you kind of have to hurry up. hope you enjoyed this process of making collage papers for our 31 days in a handmade journal. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.